cartoon with its appropriate inspirational message was prominently placed in the dressing room of the Minnesota North Stars on Tuesday night. And there was some fight in the North Stars after all. Down 3-0 in the Stanley Cup final, they came on to win Game 4 and stay alive. The winning goal by Steve Payne, a perfect tip of Brad Maxwell's shot from the point. And then came some insurance on a Bobby Smith goal. Minnesota 4 and the Islanders 2. And these were the reactions of coach Glenn Sonmore to his first win in the series.
Good, I'll give them away in New York. I'll give them all out in New York. All right. Thanks. That's great. All right, John.
Yeah. You did it. You did it.
That effort makes you awful proud to watch that.
Sure does.
It sure does. Yes, sir. Makes you feel awful proud, doesn't it, Lou, to watch that? When it's easy to say, well, what's the use? Everybody's, you're not going to be those guys for it. Why make an effort like that? You got a lot of good, awful good stuff.
Forget your lucky.
Oh, yeah, look at Lucky's that little thing here. See this? It came. There it is, look. Don't lose that, brother.
Let's take it. The Oracle spoke again.
It is a brand new day for the North Stars, but a brand new chance for the Islanders to do as they did last year and drink from Lord Stanley's Cup.
The officials, Brian Lewis from Georgetown, Ontario, as is Ron Finn, John D'Amico, who comes from Rexdale, Ontario.
For the North Stars, the puck must stop right there with 19-year-old Don Beaupre. Game number 1 star in Game 4 must do the same thing tonight.
Gary from Beaupre in the youth, the Billy Smith, 30 years old, 13-3 in the playoffs with a 2.63 goals against average. The catalyst that helped the Islanders win it last year and playing just as well again this season.
And coming to center for the New York Islanders is Butch Goring. Here's Bossy on the right side, Gillies on the left side, Potvin on the defense, Polish, Young Hands and Anderson up front for Minnesota. And on the defense is Schmier and Hartsburg. That's Schmier. And Potvin starts a rush. Remember now what Sonmore said today. He expected the Islanders to come out fast and furious. Well, let's see what happens. We're in the first minute, and here they come forechecking. Big Gillies. But Schmier finds his way to the line, and Bossy took it away from him. Now Bossy inside his own line, starting away, and he was checked near center ice. And it's called on the offside.
Well, as I was saying at the top of the show, before the game, there was a bouquet of flowers, a wreath sent to the Minnesota North Stars dressing room. There was a note from some Islander fans saying, sorry about the loss tonight, and also enclosed was a box of Kleenex. I guess, Mickey, if there's an incentive, something like that, certainly has to do it for North Stars.
I think if Bill Torrey knew what the message was, he wouldn't allow it to go down to the North Star dressing room, but they certainly made quick damage out of that wreath, I'll tell you. They took pictures of it in the hallway later on. The Minnesota players were very upset about it, but you're right, you just can't give them any fuel to the fire to get them fired up unnecessarily.
They played only 31 seconds, and we have changes already. Maxwell, Payne, and McAdam are coming out for Minnesota. They're jawing at each other already in this game, folks. You've got Merrick, Tonelli, and Nystrom for the New York Islanders.
You know, for Maxwell to get into a situation like that, it's a pretty good play. Try to get Dennis Potvin off his game.
Now we're set just outside the New York Islanders blue line. It's dropped in. Tonelli bodied on the play, but he manages to shoot it in. That's young Beaupre trying to clear it from behind the net. Nystrom is bumped on the boards. And it's grabbed by Maxwell. Coming out. Pass to McAdam on this side. Coming up for center. Cleared in by Brad Maxwell. And Nystrom was back. But McAdam went after it back at the net and lost it. And we're getting a penalty already. Only 56 seconds gone in the first period. First penalty coming up from Long Island. This is Stanley Cup 81. Well, Palmer of Minnesota is off for holding, and now the big test early in this game for the Minnesota North Stars. Can they hold off this power play of the New York Islanders. They've scored, Gary, what is it, 30 power play goals so far?
30 power play goals, and number 22, that's the guy to watch, Mike Bossy. He leads with 9, an NHL record.
Now Trottier with Bossy, Gillies, McEwen, Dennis Potvin. Not a bad lineup, Mickey.
Well, they've got everything they need out there. Big Gillies to go in front of the net. Bossy the trigger man. Trottier the playmaker, and Potvin and McEwen back there with good smarts, and if both can shoot the puck well.
Now it's dropped in. It goes to the boards. Minnesota will try to clear it. They do. They get it down the ice. Now coming back. That's Potvin, the captain of this team. He lost it in front. Minnesota, what an opportunity for Polish, and he couldn't score. Potvin lost it in front of the net. Gillies now bringing it in. Takes his shot. It bounces down near Bossy. Gets it back to the line. McEwen in a great spot. Took a shot to rebound. And it's cleared but not out. Polish after it. He knocks it down the ice. A close call in front of Billy Smith seconds ago.
Well, that's what you do when you put on some good pressure, some good forechecking by North Stars, and they turn over the puck, almost score.
Bossy left it, and Potvin brought it in. They're offside at the Minnesota line. 1:11 left in Palmer's penalty.
And you can see the tension in the Islanders are just not as smooth as they have been in the first 4 games in this series. The passes aren't as crisp and clean. They're overskating the puck a little bit. Here you see the little miscue by Potvin. And Polish, what an opportunity. And if it should be that Minnesota goes on to lose this hockey game, I'm sure they'll look back at it and say, boy, if he'd have put that one in to get that first one, it might have been different. But the breaks of the game.
New York with a power play on. It's called. They float it along the boards. I'm Bob Cole. And with me is Gary Dornhofer. Played in the National Hockey League with the Boston Bruins and on 2 Stanley Cup winners with the Philadelphia Flyers. Mickey Redmond along also with the Detroit Red Wings, and earlier he had 2 Stanley Cup wins with the Montreal Canadiens. Still working on my tennis game. A lot of work to do, right, Gary?
Absolutely.
Gotcha first. Potvin back to the net. Pass out front. Drop back. This is Potvin again. A long pass on the right wing. Bossy bringing it in with Goring. He had to hurry that pass. Goring straddling the line to stay on side. Now here's Goring. Scores! Goring opening the scoring here at 5:12. A hard shot. 1-0 New York.
A real break by the Islanders because the clearing pass hit referee Brian Lewis. And Goring just picked up the puck and let that snapshot go and beat Beaupre cleanly.
There's one of the pitfalls of a goaltender going down on the shot. Beaupre down as soon as the shot was let go, and Goring just blasted it high up over the trapper and into the top corner. But an unfortunate break for the North Stars when that clearing pass hit Brian Lewis.
You know, Mickey, the North Stars had plenty of time to get rid of that puck behind their own zone. They hesitated, and finally resulted in a giveaway. And Islanders on a power play, number 31.
The playoffs from Bourne, power play goal at 5:12.
Bourne got the assist, and Nystrom is coming down for New York. Shoots it in on the boards. Here comes Tonelli barreling in. He has Merrick with him. Merrick trying to dig it out. He does. Dropped it into the corner for Nystrom. Look at this line forecheck, will you? They score! It's fantastic when you watch this trio. Tonelli, Nystrom, and Merrick. And you know what? It's 2-0. New York Islanders.
Now's the time for the North Stars to try to get a little composure, settle down. 2 quick goals. That line of Nystrom, Tonelli, and Merrick always seem to come up with that puck with that good, strong forechecking. Look at the position here.
Perfect bing-bang pass in the net. Just unbelievable the way these guys keep the pressure on. Nystrom, you saw him start to play out. The quick pass out in front and the quick release, of course, by Merrick. Beaupre had no chance at all.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult to check a man from behind. Maxwell was behind Merrick, not getting in front of him. And Merrick, he didn't make any mistake.
You know, Bob Sonmore said that he hoped his hockey club could withstand the barrage that they expected in the first 10, 12 minutes of the hockey game, and they might be all right. But you see, we've only played 5.5 minutes, and it's 2-0 already.
Well, it's amazing how this line, they have this strength. They can't be knocked off that puck. The guys like Nystrom and Tonelli, that upper body strength, good forechecking. And again, Merrick with his stick on the ice. Soon as it comes to him, it's past Beaupre.
This goal coming at 5:37. So it's 2-0 early in the game. The first goal, Goring on a power play while Palmer was serving a holding penalty from Bourne at 5:12. 25 seconds later, here at 5:37, Wayne Merrick from Tonelli and Nystrom. And it's 2-0. The New York Islanders. There's Merrick turning around in the center ice area. Lob one in. Here comes Tonelli. Couldn't pick it up. Lane in center ice. And they're offside at the Minnesota line.
Well, it'll be interesting. You know, you talk about that experience. A lot of youngsters here in this North Star team. Can they gain their composure, settle down, not start running around, and have the Islanders score more goals against them? That is the big question right now.
That's the toughest thing to do, too, because inexperience, you've not been there before, and you don't realize, like the Islanders may have the advantage. We've talked about how they just sit back, whether they're leading 3-1 or trailing 3-1, play the same game with the confidence that they're going to be back there. But youth and inexperience doesn't know that can be done sometimes, and it'll be interesting to see if Minnesota can keep that composure.
It's amazing, fellows, when Polic had an opportunity to score the first goal of the game when he stole it from Potvin coming out of the zone. He didn't put it in.
Bob, we often talk how Billy Smith seems to make the save at the right time. Had Polic been able to score at that time, might not be a 2-0 hockey game. Might be the other way.
Well, it's still early. The Islanders, of course, with a win tonight, will win it all. The Stanley Cup is here in New York, as it was in Minnesota the other night. So it might have some traveling to do yet. We don't know, Mickey.
Well, I'll tell you, they do quite a job with that Stanley Cup. Lefty Reed, of course, taking care of all the business, and does quite a job with it.
Dennis Potvin, back of his own goal. Nearly had it knocked down by Cicerelli, but Trottier comes in. A pass to Bossy, skipped by him. Back to the net is Goring. He centered it. Back to the line. And it's broken up. Coming out is Anderson. Anderson across center, up over the New York line, cutting into the corner. Anderson back to the net, gets it out front. Roberts cleared it into the corner, and the Islanders will shoot it out again. Here's Goring. His pass stopped in the center ice area. Roberts just brought it back in his own zone. Flipped it over here for Giles. Here comes Gillies, bumping with Giles. Cicerelli left it for Smith. A good move by Smith as he hit the line, and he lost it, and 3 Islanders break in. One man back. Potvin going in. Hit the goal post, and it bounces back, and now a 2-on-1. Coming down is Smith. Smith gets ready. He'll shoot it. Didn't get good wood on that shot. And Billy Smith made the save easily. Now great action as they go end to end. Sutter's pass goes down. Cleared over in front of the net off the skate. And Kristoff is bumped by Gillies. Got away from that check, really. But Gillies appeared to have him lined up. Minnesota right back. It's flipped in by Palmer, back of the net. 2-0 is the score. The New York Islanders leading in this early going. They played 7:22 the first period. With a score, New York 2, Minnesota 0. This is Stanley Cup 81.
Here's a look at the Islanders almost making it 3-0. Potvin with that high wrist shot. What's that? Look at that top left corner, right off the junction of the crossbar and the goalpost. He used Billy Carroll as a decoy on the 2-on-1 and almost made it 3-0 Islanders.
Langevin pushing his man off the puck, back of the net by Carroll. Right wing pass, Carroll missed it at center. Sutter has to come back for New York. He lost it inside his own line. Minnesota with a chance now. That's Brock breaking in. McEwen after him, knocked him down. Puck is cleared to the line, and here come the Islanders. Up to center, Sutter trying to go in himself. Upended it. He went flying wide of the net. They hold it on the boards back there. Sutter gets up quickly to get back into it.
Now we look at Neil Brock, number 7, one of the youngsters. Had a pretty good playoff, and he will be Dave Hodges' guest in the first intermission.
12:02 remaining in this opening period. The New York Islanders 2 and the Minnesota North Stars no score. by Goring and Merrick. Goring's goal, a power play effort. Now the Islanders shoot it in. Nystrom on the boards. And he was jolted. Merrick gets it in front. And Beaupre had to cover up. It's a hitting line, a checking line, a scoring line. They've got everything.
Well, there is some hitting going on down there. Gillies just a few moments ago, Pickford took Steve Christow's head out with a high elbow, it looked like, and Payne just dicked Morrow back at the right point.
I'll watch this one with McAdam and Nystrom, and McAdam is a pretty strong fellow. He just throws Nystrom down. Donnie Beaupre again. Big task ahead of him. He has to settle down. You watch his concentration, playing the angles, makes a good pad save there.
That's Brad Maxwell back in the net for McAdam on the boards. His pass hit Merrick and bounced to center. Hot fan for Merrick, for Tonelli. Tonelli after it. Here it comes. Nystrom catching up. Tonelli makes the shot. Trying to roll it in front for Nystrom. It was behind him. Greg Smith bringing it out. Pass tipped at center ice by Payne. And New York just shoot it down the ice. Icing is waved off with 11:20 remaining in the first period. 2-0 the New York Islanders. Lobbed on the boards. Tonelli left it there at center. And Morrow shoots it in. Beaupre stepped back of the net. Here comes Nystrom again. Along with Tonelli. Checking. Tonelli went right through the crease. Ran into his man over there. Polic. And Greg Smith takes it. Feeds it in front of his own net. Maxwell's pass. Nystrom stopped it at center ice as he took it away from Payne. There's Nystrom. Losing it. Coming in on the play, Kevin Maxwell. Now Nystrom again. Chopped it up to center, and the Islanders are changing as the play goes on. Roberts coming out for Minnesota. Pass to Anderson, hitting the line. Anderson lost control of it, and Bossy got it down across center to Goring. Here's Goring breaking in. He's in back of the net, centered it. Comes all the way back to center ice. Nearing the halfway mark of the first period. 2-0 New York. Now that's Anderson for Minnesota. Gave it away at center ice. Islanders pass it around beautifully now. That's Lorimer. Decides to shoot it in. Coming back is Giles. Look out for Gillies. Big Gillies hit him. And they keep it in. Bossy backhands it in the corner. That's Gillies again, number 9. And Giles ran into him. They score! Goring gets another goal. He scored 3 here as the series opened in one game. And now a rubber out in Minnesota as it started out there. And he gets another one now. 3-0.
This goal a direct result of that big forechecking of Gillies. Gary, he used the body in the corner on Giles, knocked him off the puck. Right there, look at that. Giles off the puck, Gillies picks it up, bing, out to Goring, 3-0. Just incredible.
Well, there's a mismatch there, Mickey, with Giles against Gillies. There's no question about that. But what's happening here are the Islanders are really doing a job punishing the North Stars. It's not 1 or 2 guys, it's 17. Every single guy is making contact, taking the North Stars, and you see the result. It's the battle in the corner that's being won by the Islanders that's resulted in goals.
You know, a lot of times you send 2 forecheckers in, and the first guy takes the body, the second guy picks up the puck. That was the prime example with Gillies, himself doing it all. Took the check, also picked up the loose puck to make the perfect pass.
10:03, the time of that goal. 3-0 New York. The second goal by Goring in this first period. And the third by the Islanders. Merrick got the other. Another long shot wide of the Minnesota net. Bourne went after it with Keller. Up on the board. Stopped by McEwen. And he backhands it behind the Minnesota net. Hartsburg tried to move it out. Cannot do it. Langevin's shot. Knocked away by Beaupre. Down on the wing goes Palmer. Gets up over the line. Took a shot, a high one, over the shoulder. Billy Smith off the glass. Now Schmear's shot, nowhere near the net. Islanders pour it on and come out again. Up to center. It's flipped up to the line. Stopped there by Schmear. Now he just shoots it down the ice. Schmear goes off in a change. Most of Minnesota now changing as the play goes on. Langevin's pass stopped up the line. Kept in by Maxwell, right at the doorstep. Oh, just rolled wide. And Billy Smith had grabbed it. Hockey Night in Canada will continue in a moment. .405 remaining in the period. It's 3-0 the New York Islanders. Face-off coming up to the right of Smith. Here it comes. Brochier's number 19 against Broughton, number 7 of Minnesota. Into the corner. Langevin for New York. Had his pass stopped. Here's a drive right on. And Billy Smith had to be careful. That hard shot by Brad Palmer. He can really let him go.
Well, he's got the good shot, but that would have been a great opportunity, just firing that one low, because they had Kristoff heading for the front of the net.
Well, you see, Palmer here probably could have made a play in front of the net to Kristoff, but he decided to shoot it right away, and I guess that's a little bit of time. They're rushing everything right now, and nothing really clicking for them.
Well, Mickey, there hasn't been a concentrated attack where they put the pressure on the Islanders since their power play way back at the start of the first period. Islanders just come up with that puck and come very easily out of the net.
They score! Right after the face-off, it came back in front, and there was a quick shot. We were just about to say that Minnesota almost have to get a goal before this period ends, and they've just done it.
Again, the importance of face-offs. Right there, Trottier losing the draw, and Kristoff coming into the slot area and snaps that wrist shot right between the legs of Billy Smith.
Well, did you see the checker coming from his position there, skate right by Kristoff, and that allowed him to get that shot away.
16:06, the time of the goal. Kristoff, a bullet by Billy Smith.
For number 28, Steve Kristoff.
So it's 3-1.
Unassisted at 16:06.
Horn brought it in. Carroll was onside.
Unassisted, 16:06.
Well, Bob, you hit it on the money. They had to score the next goal. If they had gone down 4-0, the lights would have been out.
Even leaving 3-0 after this period.
It just turns it all around. They're down a couple of goals, and of course you can look to overtime in the playoffs, so they're right in the hockey game. Just a little bit of a few breaks here and there, and they could tie this thing back up again.
There's Langevin. He took a shot. Carroll nearly made contact in front of the net as he parked himself there trying to tip it. Minnesota coming back again. Kristoff, who got the goal for the Stars, misfired on this pass to Hartsburg as he was rushing away. Hit a skate. Kristoff around the net. Coming out. He's pulling away now from Keller. Gets to center and shoots it in for Minnesota. And they hustle off and they change quickly. Islanders. Merrick. Up to center. Tonelli on the left wing. Tonelli dumped it over in front. Nobody there. Now here's Nystrom. He's there. Played it in front of the net. It's cleared back to center ice, and Potvin has it. Potvin bringing it in. He made that move on the line, and Nystrom is offside. Kristoff, his 8th unassisted at 16:06. The Minnesota scoring play right after the draw.
Well, that was certainly an important face-off. The North Stars and the Islanders have been relatively even. Actually, the best percentage thus far has been number 11. We're looking at him, Wayne Merrick.
2 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the first period. We have a 3-1 game here in number 5 of the best of 7 Stanley Cup final. Islanders lead, of course, 3-1. A victory tonight. They have their second consecutive Stanley Cup. But now Minnesota applying a little pressure. McAdam got it back in front, but Potvin takes it out of harm's way to Nystrom to center. Nystrom going up over the line. He fell. And Payne comes back for Minnesota, shoots it off his stick down the ice. 2:20 left of the period. That's Potvin. Lobbed it in the corner. Morrow has it on the boards. He was checked. Now Minnesota start to forecheck and show some life. Merrick, after it, he lost it. McAdam gets in front of the net. He was tied up by Potvin. Couldn't get near the puck. Tonelli and Nystrom come out. This is Nystrom shooting it in. Beaupre behind the net, stopping it, but Nystrom anticipating the moved up. That's Tonelli in the corner. Coming in is Smith to help out. And Greg Schmidt going in with a skate, holding it there with Kevin Maxwell. And they get a stoppage for the face-off in the Minnesota zone.
Well, the scouting report on John Tonelli is he likes to go in the corners, make contact, and he'll set up some plays. Very strong upper body strength. He has showed it in every game in this series. The guy never stops working.
We're coming to you from the Coliseum of Long Island, New York. And it comes back to center ice right after the draw. This game coast to coast in Canada, across the United States, into Mexico, England, Australia. And now, Roberts flipped it back to the net in the corner on the board. Ciccarelli gets it out to Bobby Smith. Down with Anderson. Smith in with a drive, and that's stopped by Billy Smith, the New York Islander goaltender. Gillies, number 9, had it go by him. He couldn't stop it. Giles feeds it ahead. Bobby Smith lost it to Gillies. Here's Gillies trying to get across the line. No room. And Bobby Smith going in. Ciccarelli trailing. Smith had his stick lifted by Gillies, who got back quickly. Here's Ciccarelli intercepting. Ciccarelli trying to get a penalty coming up against the New York Islanders with a minute left of the period. There's a penalty coming to New York. It's 3-1 the Islanders, and this is a most important penalty for Minnesota. It's against New York.
Alarm are going off. It looked like a slashing call, the indication Brian Lewis made, but 1 minute left in the period. I guess if you've got to get a period, a penalty, the best thing you can ask for is that it's broken up a little bit, exactly right in the middle of the 2 minutes. Here's a look at what happened. There's the slash right there, the two-hander on Ciccarelli.
What a lift this would be for the North Stars if they were able to capitalize on this power play.
You notice, Gary, they have been coming on in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Even before they got that break and got the goal, they have been forechecking and coming in a little deeper.
Partly due to the fact that the Islanders just have seemed to let up a little bit. The only line that hasn't done that has been Merrick's line.
Well, you know, the thing is that through this whole series, the Islanders have never pulled away. A couple of first games, 6-3, but they weren't 6-3 hockey games. They were close games. And the Islanders have never really pushed that hard. They're up 3-0. They maybe could have gone 4, but then they allowed Minnesota to get back in it.
From the draw, Minnesota with a face-off again, and Bobby Smith controlling in the corner. Remember, they're on a power play. Maxwell shoots one. It's tipped for another shot, and that went up high over the net. Bobby Smith has it back to the line. Great pressure now by Minnesota. In front again. Dennis Potvin ran into his own man. Here's a shot. Knocked down in front. Maxwell from the blue line. He waits again. Throws it in on the right side. That's Payne in the corner trying to move it. Payne was covered. Gets it to Maxwell. A shot. Right in front. Knocked away by Potvin. And the Islanders relieve the pressure and shoot it down the ice with 23 seconds left in the period. Now 20. Minnesota one more time will come to the line at center. Ciccarelli shooting it in, and the green shirts pour in after it on this power play. But it'll be cleared. Down it goes to Carroll, one man back. Carroll going in right in front. Great play. And Beaupre stopped the rebound. And Gordon nearly had his third as the buzzer goes to end the first period. What a way for the period to go out with Carroll making a great play, Beaupre stopping it, losing it, and then Gordon.
Here's a look at the action. Billy Carroll, a super move. What a save by Beaupre. And watch Goring. He came in and pick up the loose puck right here. 1 second left. He slides it right through the crease in front of the goal line.
Well, very fortunate for the North Stars, and they'll have this intermission to think about what they have to do at the start of the second period.
And so the score at the end of the first period, the New York Islanders 3, Minnesota North Stars 1. Bobby Smith at center. And that's Payne. McAdam is on the other wing for Minnesota. Hartsburg is number 4, bringing it up to center. Hartsburg shoots it in, and here come the Minnesota North Stars. Potvin lost it, couldn't clear it. Billy Smith knocked it back to the net, into the corner. That's Payne getting it back to the line. Back to Payne again. He's bumped by Potvin. Bobby Smith gets it back to the blue line. And now a good move over there. There's a quick shot stop. McAdam flipped it over in the corner for Smith. He was stopped by Billy Smith. Again, Bobby Smith trying to center it. He was stopped by Potvin, who falls on it in the corner. And now they get a whistle with just 18 seconds left in the penalty.
Dennis Potvin, a great job back there for the Islanders, defensing this Minnesota power play. But the North Stars, Gary, are starting to jump on top of the Islanders. Although they do have the man advantage, they're still jumping in on top of the Islander defensemen and not giving them the time to make those pretty passes and get them up the boards and start out well offensively.
Well, a good example of Billy Smith there just shutting down that angle. Well, that was a good example of Hartsburg shooting the puck in, and McAdam raced down there, was able to take Potvin out of the puck and come up with it. And that's something that they have to do, because the Islanders are still standing up at that blue line, trying to force North Stars to throw it in.
That's Gary Dornhofer with Mickey Redmond, and I'm Bob Cole. Here at the Coliseum in New York, Minnesota with the man advantage, keeping it in on this power play. Another 8 seconds left in the penalty. Right in front of the net it comes, and it's cleared down the ice by Trottier. That will relieve the pressure. The penalty is over.
You know, Trottier has not been on the ice too much tonight. I believe he's hurt himself in practice. We'll have to find out what is wrong with him, but he's only killed a few penalties, taken some important faceoffs, but not taking a regular turn.
Here's Payne coming up to center ice. Bobby Smith over the line. His pass is stopped. Carroll ducked it down to center, and Beaupre had to be careful with that long Sutter shot. Kristoff couldn't clear it. Carroll kept it in. That's Bourne turning around in front of Carroll, and it comes right back to the rim of the circle and cleared out across the line. Broughton just pushed it in. Payne goes off on a change. Broughton in the corner, trying to swoop out in front of the net, but Sutter stole it, comes right back with a neat pass to Bourne to Carroll. Carroll is bumped, can't go any further. Minnesota turning, charging to center ice now. This is Palmer coming in. Palmer rolled it in front of the net, kind of a blind pass, and it was cleared by Lodgevic. Keller bringing it in. He got across the line, back for Minnesota. Long lead pass. It's too far for Kristoff. Keller shoots it in again. It comes off the boards for Nystrom. He is bumped over there by Schmier. They hold it in the corner. It comes loose back to the net. Islanders trying to forecheck, but Greg Smith gets it away. Nearing the 3-minute mark of the second period, 3-1 New York. Minnesota changing now as the play goes inside the New York Islanders line, and the Islanders come out again. McEwen is coming in with Nystrom and Merrick. Oh, what a save by Beaupre on that quick shot by McEwen. Nystrom fired it back to the net. Minnesota starting out. A long pass just out of the reach of Bob Nystrom. It's down the ice, and Lane is back. Back to the net. Lane is bumped. Now Minnesota forechecking themselves. Anderson cleared it back to the goal. They try to center it. Ciccarelli gets it back near the blue line, and it goes by Giles into center ice. Coming up to the 4-minute mark of the second period, and Minnesota hot here as they start the second frame. It's Islanders 3 and the North Stars 1. Nystrom coming out with Merrick and Keller. Nystrom's long shot off the glass. It was a way up high. Merrick back of the net. Here comes Keller. Keller stealing it, but he's forced out of the play. Can't shoot it over in front of the net. They hold it in the corner, and there's no further play. From Long Island, this is Stanley Cup 81. I'm Bob Cole with Gary Dornhofer and Mickey Redmond. And we welcome viewers from all over Canada, coast to coast, across the United States and Hawaii, Mexico, England, Australia. Big audience tonight for this one. And the Islanders and the North Stars are putting on a show, and a right in on top of Beaupre again. Another shot! Scramble for it, and it goes flying out of the crease. Heavy traffic, bumping hard right in front of Beaupre. Back for Minnesota. A long drive tipped away by Billy Smith. Maxwell went after it. Knocked it in by McAdam. Greg Smith keeping it in to Payne. Payne was pushed off the puck. Greg Smith stops it in the center ice area. Now Greg Smith at his own blue line. Up for Steve Payne. He was bumped. Stays with it though. Played it off a skate. Sutter couldn't move on it. I'll tell you something else. Trottier is injured too. He hasn't been playing very much. So he and Potvin are hurting. But the Islanders come on, led by Sutter. The fake shot. Gets set now. Shoots. And Beaupre is down. And he gloved it and held on to it.
Now, if there is a sixth game, it will be back in Minnesota. And that will take place Sunday. The Islanders and the North Stars, and that'll be an 8:30 Eastern Daylight Time.
That's 10 o'clock, of course, back home.
Back home, Bob. You're always talking about that Newfoundland, Bobby. I'm going to have to get down there one of these days and find out if it's really as great as you say it is.
We're going to get the whole crew down this time. I've enjoyed working with you people so much. You're going to all have to come down, and believe me, you'll enjoy it.
What a time we'll have.
Going to get that Mickey down, I'll tell you that. Get that guitar. We're going to have a time. Here's Minnesota coming in. Bobby Smith got a nice pass over there. And it was knocked away in front. And the Islanders just roll it to center. Goring couldn't catch up to it. 1:22 remaining in the second period. Morrow bringing it in for New York. 3-1. The Islanders lead. Off the boards. At the line, Bossy took a quick shot. Cicerelli just watched his man go by. Into the corner, Giles. And now 1 minute left in this period. Minnesota love to have a goal here. They're coming in. Roberts shooting it over in front of the net. Lodgevin for New York tomorrow. Islanders come out again. This is Keller breaking in. He's fast. Played along the blue line, and Bourne's backhander is wide of the net. Carroll tried to center it to Keller. In front, could he score? A bullet shot makes it 4-1. As Bob Bourne just walked into it with only 39 seconds left in the period.
Well, that really hurts. You can see everybody's head on the North Stars bench just dropped, but a good forechecking by Carroll against Paul Smear from behind, and Bobby Bourne doesn't make any mistake. Look at the job here by Carroll, and just strips Paul Smear of the puck, and that's all she wrote.
Well, again, you got the speed of Carroll, Keller, and Bourne out there. Three of them all speedsters, and that tenacious forechecking they all do, and all of a sudden, bingo, they get it loose, and Bobby Bourne buries it with a wrist shot.
But that really hurts when you have to go into the dressing room with less than a minute left to go and you get a goal scored against you. But again, look at Carroll here. Nobody expects to Bourne to come up with the puck. You know, you're not checking him. You're getting in your position to come out of the zone. And as soon as it hits Bourne's stick, he just rifles it past Beaupre, and a 4-1 score.
So it's 19-21. Carroll and Keller assisting on the goal by Bob Bourne. And the Islanders will take at least a 3-goal lead into the third period, unless Minnesota can hustle away, because only 25 seconds left in the period, and now only 20 seconds left. But they get up to center. Payne slides a pass in. Here's McAdam. You never know. Put the shot on, and Billy Smith covered on the short side.
You know, there's an area of discipline that has differed in this game tonight. You know, when the Islanders have good control of the puck, the defenseman behind the net, the North Stars still send two men in forechecking, and that automatically gives you an out to come out of your zone. On the other hand, the Islanders, they just pick up their wings, and they really have come up with some loose pucks when North Stars try to come out of the zone, fired around the boards. McEwen, he must have intercepted 4 or 5 passes tonight.
Well, the Islander defense going to have to really come up now and play well without Potvin. It's kind of interesting that whenever a player is sitting down on the other side of the door like Dennis Potvin is, you notice he's not usually getting a regular shift.
Now it's Trottier breaking out with Nystrom. One man back. Here's Nystrom. And he had to go off the shoulder. We had a fight starting back the other end inside the New York blue line. And the referee had to hustle back there. We're going to get penalties. Only 5 seconds left in the period.
Well, that was similar as the other night with Cicerelli being involved. And this time, and remember, Potvin had scored. But that was a 3-on-1 break for the Islanders. But even if they had scored, it wouldn't have counted.
Looks like Lane and Maxwell, Kevin Maxwell of the North Stars, both in the penalty box. 2 minutes each.
Minnesota penalty to number 9, Kevin Maxwell.
So look at the 3-on-1 break here, but you got to remember now, Nystrom does let up, but he's already heard the whistle down on the ice. And he more or less, you see him look right there, he's heard the whistle, and he's trying to let up at the end there, but a 3-on-1 opportunity for the Islanders.
But Mickey, another good example of how fast Beaupre was down. He was down on his knees before Nystrom even was set to shoot the puck.
So 19:55. Maxwell, Kevin Maxwell, that is, for roughing, and Lane of New York for roughing. There's the horn to end the second period for the Islanders.
Shots on goal in the
Opening
second
up
period.
that 3-goal lead
Minnesota
again. It looked for a
The
while, fellas,
Islanders
as if
16.
Minnesota might get a little closer.
Well, it's no sense playing defensive hockey. Come this third period, you go all out and take some chances.
Well, the Stars, it's very unfortunate for them that they gave up that goal late in the period with only 38 or 39 seconds left, because they were in the hockey game with a 3-1 score.
All right, guys, and so the score at the end of the second period, the New York Islanders 4 and the Minnesota North Stars 1.
1981 Chevrolet Citation Prize.
The way he's figuring right now, no way. If anything that'll happen tomorrow, there'll be a parade in New York, Long Island.
And over there on the other side, Gary, a very quiet-looking, somber Minnesota bench. They're 5 aside as we start this third period. Pass to center. This is Sutter. He shoots it in off the leg. Brad Maxwell lobbed it over to Smith, up to center. McAdam couldn't corral it. Got it cleared by Langevin. Into the center-ice area again. I'll tell you, fellas, these fans are going to go wild for this entire third period. And a big chant a moment ago, we want the cup. We want the cup. Well, Minnesota has other ideas. They're trying to score now. Smith took a shot. Whistler was up high off the glass. Mache comes back. Feeds Sutter. Sutter is upended. And he goes sliding to the boards. It's cleared back of the net by Greg Smith. Coming in is Lorimer. He's spun around in the corner. Sutter went in to help him. They get their skates on it, and they hold it. And a face-off coming up in the Minnesota zone. Mickey, you were downstairs a little while ago during our second intermission. I understand it's pretty loud down there, too.
Well, they're going crazy down in the corridors. They're screaming about the cup and 2 in a row, and we're number 1. And I'll tell you, you're going to hear it through this whole third period, whether the score's 10-1 or 4-3 or whatever it is. They're going to be fired up here. They already are, and it's just going to build as this period goes on, of course, if the Islanders stay ahead.
Goring, who has scored twice tonight, got the draw. Lorimer shoots it back to the net. That's Giles. Roberts coming out for Minnesota. Bobby Smith lumbering to center. Up over the line he goes. And he's knocked to the ice by Lorimer. Islanders shoot it down on the left side. Giles pass on the other wing. Roberts in again. A weak shot. Billy Smith having no difficulty with those shots from long range. 4-1. The Islanders lead. A minute 28 gone in the third period.
You know, as we look at Billy Smith, I was at a luncheon with him last time we were here in New York, and right now he's negotiating a sweet 5-year pact. He said that'll be the last contract I sign, and who knows how many more Stanley Cups we can win, but I'm sure all the players on the bench, hey guys, let's go. Everybody has to put in about 4 shifts. That's it, and we're champs again.
Trache flipped it into the corner. It goes back to the net. This is Morrill. He has to hustle back to get away from Cicerelli. Bobby Smith stole it. Couldn't make a play, though. These Islanders will be covering up every chance they get inside their own blue line. They won't let anybody roam. That's for sure. They'll try not to anyway. Here's Roberts, and he's covered by Bourne. Gets it back. Bobby Smith was covered, and it's cleared down the ice. Beaupre stopping it. The penalties are over. They're at full strength. This is Kristoff to center. Left it for Maxwell, and Bossy is back. Bossy again from Carroll. Bossy just let her slide, and now he gets it. Up on the right side is Bossy. Tucks it back to McEwen. McEwen dancing through now. McEwen over on this wing. McEwen takes his shot in front of the net. Bossy had gone by it. There's Bossy. He's bumped. Around the net, Carroll tried to center it. Carroll tried to set it up at the blue line for Langevin, but Kristoff is coming out. Up to center, Kristoff. Not much room to move in. Long shot, Smith made the save, and the puck deflects over the glass into the crowd. From Long Island, this is Stanley Cup 81. 4:55 remaining. It comes in front to Goring. And he's had 2 goals tonight. Would love to end this thing with a hat trick. He's already had a hat trick in this final series. Butch Goring is number 91. Pepper pot for the New York Islanders. Look at him. He'll give anyone fits. He's got Minnesota doing circles tonight. 4:30 left in regulation time. The puck goes down in the New York zone. 4-1. New York leading. They try to move it out. This is Bossy. A long pass too far for Bourne. And the crowd now standing up and chanting, "We're number 1." They feel it's safe now, Mick.
Well, only 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Well, this is going to be some scene when it's over.
Nystrom on the boards. Nystrom trying to clear it out. This is Merrick coming down. Merrick in over the line. Trying to drive for the net. Gets it back to Nystrom. Nystrom gets set. On the boards, he ran into Merrick as he was checked by McAdam. And now, 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. I want to say before it all goes down to 0 here on the clock, it's been great working with this crew on Hockey Night in Canada. True professionalism, super workers, and especially our director, Ronnie Harrison, down there on the truck. That's a nightmare for anyone. Try it sometime, Mickey, and you'll know what I mean. But he does a super job, and we thank you, Ronnie, for your efforts and your patience. We forgive you for all those things you've been saying. 3:35 remaining in regulation time. Here's Maxwell bidding for one wide of the far post. 3:30 remaining in regulation time. Off the glass, it goes into the corner. Cleared back. Smith at the blue line to Maxwell. And Tonelli knocks it out to center. We get another penalty coming up. Billy Smith was charging out of the net after Kevin Maxwell. And you see Lorimer, number 4, hanging on to the goaltender, Billy Smith.
Well, did you ever see a goalie move so fast, Bob? He came tearing out of the net. I think Maxwell must have dumped him as he went in front of Billy Smith. The play just... Here's Maxwell coming right in front of the net right now. Watch this. Smith, a little tap on the ankle. Maxwell turns. Holy wow. Look out for that one. Woo. Billy Smith, there's a look at the Conn Smythe Trophy, Bob.
We've been told, Mickey, that it has been won by Butch Goring, this man right here, and that's a good choice.
Fantastic choice. I couldn't agree more with it. He's just had a super series. Scored 3 shorthanded goals, 10 goals all in all, 10 assists with 20 points. Well deserved of that trophy. Of course, Goring saying that last year he came into the Islanders a little late, maybe didn't feel a total part of it, but this year been there all the way, and what a great feeling it's got to be for him.
So Billy Smith of the Islanders and Kevin Maxwell of Minnesota get 2 minutes each for slashing here at 16:42. It's 4-1. This game winding down. This series winding down. And this season all but over. The Stanley Cup will be presented tonight to the New York Islanders. Langevin stick handling in. And the shot, a hard drive. Grabbed by Beaupre. And I'll tell you, great move. Langevin. And a good shot.
You know, Bob, I don't think enough can be said about the Minnesota North Stars, their organization, and the job that they've done. Glenn Sonmore, Lou Nanne, and all the players. They are really going to be an organization of the future. I think they are playing, as we look at Langevin coming in to take that high hard one, almost catches Beaupre in the mask area, but they are playing in the Islanders probably the most well-disciplined hockey club. It probably is. It is the best hockey club in the National League right now. And strong in all positions, all over the ice, and the goaltending out, they've just been incredible all season long, and especially here in the playoffs.
You and I talked about it earlier, Mickey. You watch the Islanders play hockey, and I challenge you to find one man on this team who's not working 100% of the time.
There isn't one.
There's McEwen shooting, scoring! So, McEwen with a bullet shot here at 17:06. And it's 5-1. New York. The celebration has started here
by Beaupre, who's being tied up by Giles and Sutter in front of the net. Here's an angle, watching Beaupre all the way off the face-off. You'll have a look at him get set. There goes Giles with Sutter. There's the shot right there on the short side. And then puts the topper on it.
His sixth of the playoffs.
Boy, did he ever drill it, Bob. 40 feet out, he blew it by.
19, Brian Trache.
Trache got an assist. The fans in their exuberance start to litter the ice. And I just hope they take it easy from here on in. Here's McEwen, his sixth goal. They're getting ready now in the dressing room downstairs. This is a live camera shot of the Islanders dressing room, and Dave Hodge will be there with all the celebrations that no doubt will occur. And the champagne is there, ready to go.
Popping the corks tonight in Long Island. The fans out here in front of us, they've already got their bottles popped, as you can probably tell, all night long. They're in a frenzy in this building.
I got to make mention, our co-worker, Gary Dornhofer, has left us. He has gone downstairs, and he will be going out on the ice in an effort to interview some hockey players from the New York Islanders just as the horn goes to end this game.
Bob, if you're a hockey fan, this is where you want to be. This is what it's all about. They played 908 hockey games in the National Hockey League this year, and it's all come down to this, the final game. The Islanders winning it.
Well, 2:45. Make that 2:48 remaining in regulation time. The New York Islanders winning the first two games here at home by 6-3 scores, then going into Bloomington and winning it 7-5. Then that super game 2 nights ago when Minnesota came out to win 4-2, and they're leading here in game 5, 5-1, 2:40 left to play in regulation time. The chant has started. We're number one. They're all standing in front of us at the far side. Here's Trache trying to break through. Hartsburg coming out. Up to center. Young hands the shot. Wide of the net. 2:22 remaining in regulation time. Wait till we get down to 1 minute, Nick. You won't hear your ears. Trache. He couldn't keep it in. Wait a minute. No. On the second effort, he could not. Lane shoots it in. Back of the net, Beaupre. Schmier coming out. 2 minutes remaining in regulation time. Now back to the New York net is Lorimer. Minnesota changing as the play goes on. 1:50 remaining. 5-1 New York Islanders. Listen to this crowd. They're going wild. Red Smith, a long shot wide. You talk about hockey fans, Mickey. This is something. Maxwell coming in. Couldn't shoot it. Cicerelli. 1:30 remaining. Islanders breaking out of the zone. This is Keller. Stopped inside the line. Lane couldn't knock it down. 1:20 left. Cicerelli broke his stick. Shot goes in back of the net. Goring is on the ice. They want him to get another goal. He's won the Conn Smythe Trophy. The ballots have been counted. He, in fact, is the winner. He's got 2 goals tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to the roar. 1 minute remaining in this game. Unbelievable. They're all shouting. They're all standing. Here's Gillies. Beaupre stops it and hangs on to it with 48 seconds remaining in regulation time. I'm Bob Cole, and with me is Mickey Redmond. Gary Dornhofer is downstairs. He'll be going out on the ice to help celebrate with the Islanders and talk to some of the victorious New York Islanders. Dave Hodge will be in the dressing room. Watch Gillies going in, driving one on the net.
Well, it really doesn't mean anything right now. The Islanders really just dumping the puck out of their zone, trying to kill off the last 48 seconds. Minnesota knows it's over. They fought well. They've just come up against a tremendous hockey team.
We're right in the crowd here in our broadcast booth in the Coliseum on Long Island. They're all standing. Mick, we might as well stand too. We can't see this way. Let's get up. They're all up behind us. They're all up in front of us. And they're all up over there on the Islanders bench. Look at them go over there. They're all congratulating each other on the Islanders bench right now. As they get set for the face-off to the right of Beaupre, and you can hear the chant from 15,004. We're number one. Goring with a shot. That's blocked. 30 seconds left. And that'll be it. Number 2 Stanley Cup for the New York Islanders, and they've done some kind of job here in New York.
Well, it's got to be. It's quite a feeling to be down there. You've played all season long. The season started back in September. As you look at the Islander bench, started in September with training camp and, of course, preparation before that in the summertime. And here we are in May, and after an 80-game season and 17 or 18 playoff games, they realize it's over. They are going to be the champions. Greatest feeling in the hockey world.
Here's Goring looking for one. A high shot grabbed by Beaupre. 17 seconds remaining. We'll give you the countdown, and I'll be joined by these 15,000. Listen to them. A long shot. Stop. Listen to the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look out. Security people are trying to get it organized. The New York Islanders have won the Stanley Cup for the second consecutive year, defeating the Minnesota North Stars tonight 5-1 and sweeping the series 4 games to 1.
Well, people are jumping over the high glass at the end of the board.
Let's try to pick up Gary Dornhofer down on the ice. Gary, you got it.
Well, 2 in a row. Is this one sweeter than the first one?
You betcha, Gary. We're the favorites going into this thing. I was glad to see we were able to handle it. And we got good coaching, good solid effort from everybody, and I couldn't be happier.
Brian, what was Al Arbour's pregame speech?
Pregame speech was just relax, play it smart, play it with poise. Don't take too many stupid penalties like we had been, and we'll be all right.
Well, you were hurting tonight. You didn't see much action. Did that happen in the practice?
No, it happened in Minnesota. I separated my shoulder, and I was doubtful tonight. It sure feels good to be a part of it.
Brian, congratulations again on a wonderful series. Trying to get some more players. Let's go.
Gary Dornhofer down on the ice, and it's not easy. I'll tell you, you can appreciate Gary's problems with the fans that have jumped the boards, and they're the players now congratulating each other on a fine series.
And now, let's congratulate
Billy Smith, the first one off the ice. He has gone to the dressing room. A hard day's night for Billy Smith, but well worth it, no doubt, Nick.
Oh, Smith was just fantastic. He's 14 wins, 3 losses in this year's playoffs. He was one of the mainstays of the club last year when they won the Stanley Cup, and again this year. And they always say if you're going to win the Stanley Cup, you've got to get the hot goaltending, and Billy Smith has given that to the Islanders.
Butch Goring has been named the winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy, emblematic of the most valuable player in the playoffs. Let's again go down to the ice surface. Dennis Potvin, the captain, is with Gary Dornhofer.
Well, if you're going to talk to somebody, it might as well be the captain again. Denny, a job well done.
Thank you. It was fabulous. I thought the first one would be the greatest, but this one here is so much more satisfying. We had some injuries. The guys pulled through. We tightened up. It's great.
You know, Denny, when you fell into the corner to break up a play, that just about typifies the kind of year that the Islanders have had.
I just snapped that leg of mine. It's gone. But
well, again, congratulations on successfully defending the cup. Hey, here's a guy who can talk about effort, work in the corners. John Tonelli, just a fantastic season.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks. That's all I know how to do.
Well, you know, the scouting report on you is dump it in the corner. John Tonelli will dig it out, and your line has to be very instrumental in winning this cup.
Thanks very much, Gary. I feel a big part of this team, and we have a hell of a hockey.
John, how about you and Bob Nystrom and Wayne Merrick getting together, working? You know, they say you guys are a checking line, but you do so much more.
We work well together. We work hard for each other, and that's how it works. That's how it's been working for us.
Well, you did what it took to win. Congratulations.
Thanks, Gary.
imagination or not, but it seems to me that every year when the Stanley Cup victory celebration takes place, it looks to be bigger and better than ever.
Well, I'll tell you, they're enjoying it down there. I think it's more satisfying to them. The first one is great, but they've come back and they've done it again, and that really has to make them feel like they've really put it back together. It's tougher to be a champion because everybody wants a piece of you, and they've come back in that long year, played hard, and they've done it again, so it's that much more gratifying. We listen to the music, we are the champions, and celebrate apropos to the moment. There goes the Stanley Cup. The Islanders are now leaving the ice, and we remind you, we'll be joining Dave Hodge in the Islanders dressing room. And, mister, she's going to be some kind of night in there. Oh, it's fantastic. Well, I've been there twice with the Canadians. That's a few years ago, and I'll never forget that. As Gary mentioned it earlier, it's a feeling you'll never forget. As I say, you played all year long. You've got injuries, but, boy, it's just the greatest feeling in the game of hockey.
Mickey, let's go down now and see what it looks like in that Islanders dressing room. Let's go down to Dave Hodge.
There they are. We'll get Hodgie shortly. He'll be along to talk to some of the players. There are the guys, the champagne, ready to go. And here's Dave Hodge with Mike Bossy.
With the playoff scoring champion for this season, a new playoff record, 35 points. Mike, there were 50 goals in 50 games, and now there are 35 playoff points. This is my highlight of the season, but yours has got to be the Stanley Cup, despite all those stats.
Well, of course, Dave. I think that, when you start out the season, your goal is to win the Stanley Cup, and whatever personal success you have, well, that comes along with the team's success. And, we just played a super series, a super playoffs, and, I'm very proud of the team that I'm on right now.
I'm sure you have to be proud, though, when you look at 35 points. I mean, it wasn't too long ago when 27 was a mark that didn't seem as though it was going to be broken. Last year, Trottier 29. This year, again, Trottier 29, and you're 6 ahead of that.
Well, I'm like I said, the team was playing extremely well, and it was a little easier for me to have as much personal success as I did. And, as long as we won games, that was what was important to me, and I'm very happy that we won. I'm very happy that everything's over now.
Congratulations for 2 in a row to Mike Bossy.
National Hockey League, John Ziegler, and the winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy, Butch Goring. And John, will you make the presentation?
Thank you. Butch, this playoffs, I think, showed a lot of stars. In this particular final series, there were so many stars, but among them, you shone up to the top. Couldn't have been a better pick. Congratulations to your team. They were outstanding. Congratulations to you being the most valuable player in the playoffs. We're very proud of all of you. Thank you.
Well, thanks a lot, John. It's a tremendous thrill winning the Stanley Cup, and to be awarded such a prestigious award as the Conn Smythe is like I said before, icing on the cake. I feel it's a great thrill to win it because guys like Dennis Potvin broke Bobby Orr's record, the most assists and points, and Mike Bossy, he broke Brian Trottier's record, and he had tremendous, 17 goals and umpteen number of assists. And then Brian Trottier, who played hurt tonight, and he had another, tremendous playoff. You compare with guys like this, it's just a thrill. And I guess only one guy can win it. It's a shame because winning the Stanley Cup, it's a team effort, and this is just great. It's unbelievable.
Well, Butch, would you say that this is probably the best effort that the Islanders have come up with during the playoffs?
Absolutely. At least in this series, that's for sure. We were scared to go back in Minnesota. They, their fans gave them such a big lift, and the North Stars played so doggone well in Minnesota. We were lucky to get a split there, and even though we tried as hard as we could, so we didn't want to go back there. We wanted to end it in front of our fans and save ourselves another plane ride.
Thank you, Butch. Not only winning the Stanley Cup, but the Conn Smythe, and I'm sure you want to get back in the dressing room.
Thanks, Marty.
And now, while Butch and the president are stepping away from the mic here, I'll bring in the coach of the Minnesota North Stars, Glenn Sonmore.
Well, last year's Stanley Cup was a pleasant one for Anders Keller, but not nearly as satisfying as this, I'm sure, because, of course, injuries kept you out of the lineup last year. Feel a whole lot better this time?
Oh, yeah, it's a big difference, and I suffer a lot now when I think of Stefan Persson that has to be in the stands now. That's awful to be up there.
This was a 5-game series, and I guess some might have thought it was routine. Was this Stanley Cup, can you see, easier than last year, or would you not consider it easy?
I didn't play last year, you know, but if I listen to the guys in the locker room, I think they think this year was much easier than the year before.
Well, it shows in the way the Islanders wanted it. Of course, they wanted for first place. Congratulations. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Okay, here is Clark Gillies moving in, and I better give him a lot of room because I could go off the end here pretty easily. Just talking to Anders Keller about whether this was easy or tough, and I guess you don't really talk about 5 games, do you? You're looking way back in September, and when you can consider all the games you played to get here, playing so long, so well, it must be satisfying no matter how you do it.
Well, it is. You know, we came into this series and we had to win 4 out of 7. I mean, I told you that before. And we played super hockey. We played super against the Rangers. We played super against these guys, and it's just great to wrap it up here in front of our home fans. But like you say, we had about 107 games under our belt, and that's what it's all about. You got to play those to get to this position.
Do you need experience to do this well, to celebrate? I mean, you were rookies last year. Is this being done better?
I think we're overconfident. We know how to do it now. It's not, I don't think it's as much fun. I'm getting more champagne in my eyes. It hurts more.
Yeah, I've had that experience too, and thank you very much, Clark. Congratulations. It's been done before. Try and get Wayne Merrick up here. Congratulations. Scored the winning goal. That'll go into the record books, as well as the memories of, I think, the best hockey you've ever played, and I wonder if you agree.
Well, thank you very much, Dave. In a way, I think I kind of deserve it a little bit because I've worked hard all year, and I didn't play that much the first part of the year, and I'm really happy the way things ended up.
Talk about the line with Stanley and Nystrom centered by yourself. I talked to you after one of the earlier games and said it must be a great pleasure to center 2 wingers who work that hard. Not, of course, that you don't, but you know, that must make your game a whole lot easier and enable you to do some of the things that we saw you do in these playoffs.
That's for sure, David. Anytime you play with Bobby Nystrom and John Tonelli, they both work really hard in the corners, and that's a big part of the game when you got 2 big guys like that go in and take the man and leave the puck there loose for me to pick it up sometimes. And I usually can make a pretty good plays if I can get open. And, you know, it's just a great thrill playing with those guys, but, you know, they just work so hard.
It's a team that's always been known for strength up the middle. Brian Trottier, Butch Goring, the Conn Smythe Trophy winner, and there's certainly another one to consider this year, and maybe should have been considered a lot longer ago, Wayne Merrick. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay, the celebration continues, and we have a fella coming up here who I don't really know what to say, but do you think this is ever going to end for you?
I hope not. I'll tell you, it's just a great feeling, and I'm just proud to be a part of this team.
The gold medal, of course, at the Olympics, then 1 Stanley Cup, and now 2 Stanley Cups. Is there one moment that you scored some goals in these playoffs? I think you had 3, didn't you?
Yeah, but they're all bouncing off people, and I'm not known for my goal scoring, but I felt good out there the whole playoffs. And, you know, it really sets us apart with some great teams.
One in Edmonton, a goal by you that I remember. Big goal?
Yeah, I guess it was a big goal at the time, but, you know, you don't think about those things when you're out on the ice. You just want to play your basketball time.
You, of course, were up against a couple of your Olympic teammates in this series, Christoph and Broughton. Has that bond sort of disappeared, or did you have any chance to converse with them?
Well, I haven't talked to them yet, but, you know, the bond's always going to be there off the ice. When you're on the ice, you have to play hockey, and, you know, they had a super year, and I'm really proud of them.
You had a super year, too. Ken Morrow, thank you.